Hello everyone, Scotty Mo's back online. So yesterday, Southampton protest. How did it go? It went really well actually. The march was starting, everyone. Moved very slow, it's a bit delayed, but it's moving. See all these flags, sea of flags, all Patriots coming together. It's the way that it's done. It's the way that we stand for Britain. Stand. Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! We've arrived onto the park, everyone. England's green and pleasant land. My boy! Alright. I believe there's a stage set up right over there. Yeah. Let's see what flags. We're at the front of the crowd. I'm actually really surprised about the turnout here. Quite a few number of people turned up.
Family of the Patriots that have sorted this out on the left. On the right hand side we've got a media pen. If you've got a media pass, please head to my right hand side. Everyone else, gather in the middle. Speeches and music coming.
Go towards the front. Yeah, go ahead. I don't normally go to these kinds of smaller scale protests unless they're the UTK marches, you know, the Tony Romson rallies, those massive ones. The reason why is because it kind of puts me out of my comfort zone. I'm not particularly, you know, outgoing. I don't really like large crowds. I don't really enjoy a lot of that bombasticness, that shouting and yelling and screeching. I just hate when these marches or events turn into shouting matches against the Antifa, you know, the stand-up to racism, loonies. But I went to this one because I reckon it would be a good turnout. It'd be well organised. I saw, you know, the way it was organised, there were going to be speeches made, there was going to be a stand erected, and you know, there were first aiders and stewards there. So all in all, it was really well organised. I really enjoyed the speeches made. I mean, one of the speakers, Kirsty, I think was her name. She was like a grooming, well, not grooming gang, but like a RAPE survivor. There was she was working for a fast food restaurant, and she told a story basically how one of her colleagues from India pinned her against a wall, and I mean, you can imagine the details. It was quite horrifying to listen to. When you actually listen to it, my God, it's just a mixture of sadness and anger and frustration with the authorities for their lack of will to be able to deal with anything these days, particularly with the grooming gangs most recently. But all in all, it was a great event. And it just, like, it's day and night compared to, you know, the protests that were held at, what was it, Tower Hamlets, by those mobs of bearded religious fundamentalist radical men that don't belong here in this country. It's just complete night and day. You know, our Home Secretary, Banana Bad Mood, She thinks that Islam is like the main driving force behind everything that she does. It's why she does what she does. Her faith is the main stimulation for her duty to this country. And you know that she said it. She admits, those are my people. That's my community. Those are the people that you allow to roam on the streets, intimidating people, disrupting civil harmony. All your balaclavas and face masks. And just storming the streets of London, intimidating people and laying your dominant claim on a particular part of London. It's just, I mean, Tower Hamlets, Whitechapel, these areas, they've gone to the dogs. You might as well call Whitechapel, take out the white and call it like, I don't know, Takia Chapel or Halal Chapel or something, because it's just ridiculous now. I think all in all, yesterday's march was a show of defiance, was a show of will, was a show of testicular fortitude for the men of England to stand together, for patriots to come together to spread awareness, mainly for the cameras. I think the citizen journalists done really well. For us to reach across social media, to be able to wake people up in these local areas, is that I think the tide is shifting, massively shifting. I saw the turnout. I was a bit disappointed by the turnout, but nonetheless, it was still good. You know, I reckon there were about, let's say, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, I'm not really sure. But this is what needs to happen. These local protests, we need these kinds of turnouts. We don't need Tommy Robinson or these big names to be able to organise protests. Not that those, you know, Tommy Robinson is insignificant, but people organising locally, and particularly with this one in Southampton, being able to identify the biggest issues that are plaguing communities and society as a whole in these local kind of towns and cities. That's what has to happen. And this is just a kind of, this signifies the whole of the country is waking up. And I also have to thank Danny Tomo. I can't thank Danny Tomo enough for making those series of videos and short clips, just bringing me to the attention of what's going on in Southampton. Southampton Patriots gathering together. If Danny Tomo didn't make that inspiring video for the men of England to gather together in harmony as one, standing brother with brother, shoulder to shoulder, I wouldn't have known anything about the Southampton. Now I know more about what the Southampton Patriots do, Craig Jones, and also his team who organise these kinds of events, and Pink Ladies were part of it as well. But yeah, Danny Tomo, he actually had a, well, I'll show you the clip. I'll show you footage. There was one of those lefty loonies, as we were marching along those B roads, right? There was an overhanging pedestrian bridge, and one of those pink-haired, blue-haired lefty loony clowns, those absolute scumbags, threw a bottle of piss down at the crowd. And a bunch of the organisers, including Danny Tomo, just sprinted up to that bridge, up the stairs, up to the bridge, just to confront the perpetrator who did that disgusting act. A bottle of piss is disgusting. Oh, and it managed to splash on a multitude of people. And then Danny Tomo got pepper sprayed right in the face, in the eyes and the ears and the mouth. It went into his mouth, it went all over his face, and he had to go home. He didn't attend the event. He didn't manage to speak. He was supposed to be one of the speakers, but eventually he just went home because he was just writhing in pain from the pepper spraying. Like, once again, this is just a gloriously blatant example of how the police, time and time again, they fail to enforce the law and to protect all members of the public. Everyone who is there at the protest, including the leftists, the Antifa mob as well. You knew that bridge would be a vulnerable spot for people to throw whatever they were throwing, whether it be objects, bottles, tennis balls, eggs. Hell, it could have been acid, some chemical substance. How can you not refrain from being able to safeguard against these kinds of assaults and attacks? You knew that bridge would be an easy spot for them to do something like that. You've seen it time and time again. But in a lot of these UKIP marches, they throw eggs, they catapult objects onto Patriots. You've seen it time and time again. Yet the police are just useless. I just simply have no words. They're absolute cowards. They can't do their jobs properly, and you just can't rely on them. You just can't depend on them. Those are my thoughts. But yeah, as I said, thank you, Danny Thomas. Yeah, it was just really inspiring, and I reckon I'd probably go to more of these events. I think Southampton's not even far from me. I managed to make a friend as well. We talked about all sorts of things. He's about the same age as me. He doesn't know I have a YouTube channel, not just yet. But we had a really good time. We listened to the speeches. We went for Polish food afterwards, and we had a drink. We had a bit of a laugh, and yeah, this is the advantage of going to these events. You network, and you make communication, and you make new contacts and friends and stuff. And so I'm glad I made a new friend yesterday. It was a really good day for me. So I recommend you, for whoever's watching, if you haven't been to any of these protests in Southampton, head down to Southampton, because that's where the action is happening. Lots of action is occurring in Portsmouth and Southampton, even Bournemouth as well. It's a really good sign. People are fed up. People are fed up. People have had enough. So that's my video. Just a very short kind of update of yesterday's Southampton Patriots protests. Just wanted to lay out my reflections on it and what I thought. That's it for today. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you actually attended the Southampton protest, and I'll see you in the next one. Guardian Most Clocking out.